Hey guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp with a limp, and I am back with some more Company of Heroes. You guys know I absolutely love this game. Friggin' awesome. We're going to jump right back into where we left off. It was the end of the first full round, gone through everything. One thing I did want to address, I noted it in the previous video, but make sure that you do handle the AI supply phase at that point during that supply phase, like they're putting out their new units and all that good stuff. I was thinking it was done at the beginning like now, but it's not. It's done then. So annotated it, but just FYI. So we're going to go right back into it. And now I'm actually thinking it's a good thing that the player goes first, because I think it gives me a little bit of advantage here, because I definitely wanted to get my new machine gunners into position. And speaking of machine guns, there's conscripts over there for the Soviets you guys will see here in a sec, because I did screw up as far as the tank payment. But we're going to spend 3 command points, 1, 2, and 3, to set them up right up here in this building. So they are good to go. Put them right there. Actually, let's move that over just a bit. So I can move them over and place one of those dice where it needs to go. Because those buildings only have 4 health. In the advanced versions, in the advanced rule version of the game, high explosives and flame will cause damage to buildings, so you need to be prepared for that. But now my machine gunner is set up, and if we move forward just a little bit, you guys can see there's my next target. So I can potentially move these guys, my infantry over here to the right, towards it. But I'm going to be moving them in that direction regardless, because I know the AI's heading that way. They're both heading that way. And I don't know. There's a victory point over there too that they can get to, but I need to gain control of this victory point. And the only way to do that is to put boots on the ground and gain it. So I think I'm just going to have to get stuck in, and I might have to fight for it. We'll have to see how that ends up working out. All right, we're over here to the Soviets for their first turn of the round. Remember, I got 3 points, but I'm not going to be spending them all on the same unit. This is the first time you guys will see me actually divide those out, because I'm just going to spend 1 to fall these mortar teams back, so I can set that right in there for them so they can gain control, and that will give them a good amount of manpower coming in each round that they will now be able to spend towards extra troops. So we'll take and dump these other 2 points on this T-70 here. Just throw that in there. So he's moving up, and as you guys can see, that tank's going to do better, I think, sticking in towards the enemy. Now, he can't capture the points. I'll have this captured, and I'll be able to move on probably towards this victory point over here. But I really need that fuel. I need them both. Really, I need all. I want all of the control. Because the guys that I have over here, I think are going to mainly be defensive. Remember, I mentioned it. I did switch out my tank, that extra tank, because I could not afford it. I had miscounted, and I don't want to give myself that much of an advantage. A tank over troops, that's too big of a goof to give myself. So these guys are going to push forward and help guard this manpower point, and maybe go for this little bit of munitions over here. Regardless, I just want to hold on to it, so I got the ability to have those extra funds coming in. We'll have to see how that plays out as well. All right, I'm not sure what units the AI, the first AI, our mobile commander is going to be using, but you do see he's got his yellow out now. So now we have green and yellow, a couple of greens and a yellow out on the board. So we're going to reading order this, follow the card. Let's go ahead and draw one off the top of the deck. And it's going to be yellow. They are doing a cavalry assault. So let me grab that card. All right, so priorities. We already know which one it's going to be. It's going to be this fella, because they've only got 1 yellow on the board. It's going to move to the nearest enemy unit. Priorities are going to be enemy closest to a victory point, and then the reading order. It's going to have to be these guys over there, because those are the closest ones. So 1, 2, 3, I guess, then over here, because he can't cross that way. Yeah, let me back the camera up just a bit. Yeah, so looking at it, it looks like 1, 2, 3. going in this direction, bringing them around is the only bet because this hex is already occupied. And going that way is too far. Like, these guys are the closest ones to a victory point that he can get to quickly. So he is going to be fighting over here. 1, 2, 3. And we will place 3 cubes down. So we don't know what this is. Remember, this can be an event. This can be an armored vehicle. This could be a Jeep. It more likely won't be a Jeep. It seems like the AI gets a lot of like armored vehicles and tanks and veteran infantry and all this other stuff. When I was thumbing through these tokens prior to setting up the game, it looks like they give them a fairly substantial advantage. All right, so I kind of set the camera down here at the lower right-hand corner or upper left, depending. Upper left coming from my side. Painting over, this is Feeble Commander on this side. Here is his yellow that did get rolled. It got rolled to come out there in the center. So we're going to draw a card for them. And there, you got to be kidding me. Just to show you guys, I'm keeping these cards off to the side so you can see like double, almost doubles. And you got to be kidding me. All right. Well, we know it's going to be this one. So let's move the camera over a little bit. And he's going to move towards enemies that, again, are going towards closest to a victory point. See, the thing of it is these guys are closest to a victory point. And if I go reading order, it would be them because they're going to run into them first. Remember, I'm doing the reading order from here. All right, so this corner of the board all the way down. So here, down, here, down, here, down. That's my consistency. So as we go down, that would be the first enemy unit that it would actually run into. And it's relatively close, but even if we go the next line, that's where most all of the enemy troops are on. So those machine gunners are only 2 hexes away from a victory point. So he is going to go in this direction. So we're going to bring him around 3. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to set him right there and place his points. So he has conducted his movement, and that really sucks. I mean, I wanted him to move forward, but that's okay. We'll deal with him, and it gives me a chance now to move my guys up and get them in position to set up the control on that victory point. All right, so let's go back around. We'll do one more movement around here. All right, so here's the thing. I'm looking at it. I got 3 points to spend. I could spend 2 to get to there, but if I had one victory point, I could set up defenses for them for the cost of 1 versus 2 command points. What am I thinking here? Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I can only get them to there because I would rather have my regular infantry moving over towards this victory point versus the mortars. I don't want the mortars adjacent. I think that's risking my mortars for no good cause. Because yes, while I might capture this, they can't fire adjacent to them. So they can do more damage if I hold them back. And I might need them to take some damage towards those vehicles getting ready to come out, but I can get that victory point if I send them over. So I can get a victory point going now, or I can focus fire one later. But I'm afraid if I send them over there, there's 2 infantry, they're going to get them down, and I don't want to divide my forces. The choices here are very, very deep, and I love it. It's tactical, and it's making me think of what I want. Because I'm looking at that bridge point right there and here. So 1, 2, 3. I can get to the bridge. But that puts the enemy in a great position to come around on me, and they could have a couple of guys on me quickly. They could have them in good positions. And I just don't see it. I think it would be better for me to try to hold a single point firmly than try to grasp those. I'll go for the center when I have some more Russian forces to help. I think this is going to hurt me, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to go that route. We're going to go... If I go across here, the AI can get in there. He can get in there in one move. He'll move right next to my guys, and I just can't get there, what if, oh no, we're going to move them over. But instead of going to this hex, I'm going to go the hex right here, directly in front of it. That way I'm one hex further away from that yellow disc way back there in the back. So I've got 3 infantry. We'll move back over. I've got 3 sets of infantry. I got machine guns, I got mortars, and I got just regular crew infantry right here. And I'll move up on them the next round. My hope is that all of this focus firepower will help me hold that through the remainder. But I'm going to have to get more points coming in. The Soviets are going to have to capture a victory point, and they're going to have to do it real soon. Otherwise, I'm going to lose this game just running out of time, just flat out. All right, so we're back here to the Soviets. Again, I've got 3 points to spend. I'm going to spend 2 on these infantry to bring them up equal so they can help hold that, but that leaves me 1, and I'm going to spend that over here on this tank, bringing him up, I believe. So that will be all the points I can spend on him. We'll have him facing this direction. That way he can shoot in on the enemy. That's where his front's going to be. So it wouldn't matter. They're going to have to get back here to get behind him anyway. And I doubt they're going to have anything that can really cause him a whole lot of grief anytime soon. That's my hope. I'm crossing my fingers on that one. But that's good. And I'm going to have 3 more points to spend. And I really don't know what to spend them on because I don't want to move too much else. I could. Well, no, I don't think these guys can build. No, they can't build. Only the conscripts can build the sandbags, do the repairs and that stuff. The mortar teams just fight from a distance and hope for the best. So that ain't gonna work. That is not good. I have to leave them there to gain control of that at the end of the round, which means I could move those mortar teams forward. I might probably spend 1 more point to scoot them forward. Let's see. Well, I haven't finished here. Maybe instead bring this guy around back here. So if they move forward, yeah. Here's what we're going to do. All right, so this guy moved up. I'm changing my mind on something. It's kind of like chess piece. Hadn't taken my finger off yet. He came up from here, and instead of going to there, I'm going to have him go 1, 2 to here. And then on the next movement round, I'll spend 1 more point to bring him to this side. That way I can make use of this light cover that's all up in front of him as he moves forward. A little safer direction, slower but safer, and let the Americans come in on that side and try to pincer them in a little bit. That's my thought. We'll see if it pans out. All right, so we know no matter what I draw this time, it is going to be a green unit, and it is going to be victory point again. And just to remind you, I will throw it up in the corner, but it is going after the victory points, which green unit, not on a control point, closest to a victory point, reading order. That is actually going to be this fella right now. He can spend a single point and go there, and they're going to gain control. And we'll go to our next one since they have 2 points left and move him up in this direction towards that victory point. So that actually spends them. He would have been going up on this one. Had they had 1 more point left this round, he would have been able to get it, but that will put him in range of that tank. So hopefully their next card will push them in that direction and I can get that. But they're going to gain control of that at a victory point. Remember though, that doesn't matter. The AI doesn't calculate those victory points, but I need to have those spots open because I need to get them. So this is key. I need to get this, definitely. Maybe get some conscripts on my next round, have them push up, have the tank come up, push them off, maybe. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Have the tank push these guys out, try to hurt them, and then have the infantry do some hurt to these guys. Yeah. We'll try to take this one and see if we can hold out. But if I can get the building, they have to cut around this way. Let's see, he was there. 1, 2, yeah, that's still the closest point for him. So we'll go here. All right, so we have, if I can pan this over just right, we have 1 right there, and we got 1 right there. We're going to draw our card and see what they go to, and it is going to be Recon Force, which is different from the other one, but the same type objective, still going for the victory points, which I think might actually work for us on this one. Because if we go reading order, both him and him are on the same hex line, which means he will trigger first. The 3 points will be spent. And now we actually get to reveal a unit. Because he's going to spend 3 points. 1, 2, 3 to move up onto this. He's going to get revealed. So hopefully he doesn't have a revealy thingy, but I don't think he does. I think it would have a little arrow on the outside. But since he's a green unit, as long as this isn't an event, he is going to become pinned by my machine gun team. So we will flip our token, y'all. And this is some grenadiers. This is actually good for us because we are playing the advanced rules. They will automatically become pinned because they moved into range of my machine gun team right there off the bat. So that's the way the advanced rules work. If infantry move into the machine gunner's line of fire where they've got the pinning ability, then they will become pinned. They don't automatically become pinned if my machine gun team were to move up into the building and set up. They wouldn't become pinned because they were already there. But by moving into it, they do become pinned. So that works out very well for me. Now, just so I don't forget that there is a control point there, I will be throwing a little stand on it. I'll throw the flag next to it because they don't have it yet. But if they survive the combat phase, which we will be getting to here very soon, then they will have it. As far as control points go, it's relatively even. If you look out across the board, if I back out a little bit, I think I've got more resources because I got a resource, and then way over there on this big, huge, freaking awesome map. God, I love this game. Resource. Now, I haven't captured that way far back resource. That's the manpower one, extra one for the Soviets. But I've got 4 resources. They have 1 victory point, 1 resource. They're getting ready to gain a 2nd victory point and a 3rd victory point over there. So it looks like I've got all the resources. They've got all the damn victory points, which is what I need. The thing is if I were playing this game by an opponent, right, they would start off with a bit of advantage because they would have more points coming in, more total victory points, but I would be able to crack out more units quicker than the enemy, so hopefully I'd be able to overwhelm them. I don't know if that's going to work in this game. We'll have to see because the AI gets their units regardless if they control crap or not. I don't know. But there's still good stuff here for them to grab. There's still a control point there. There's a control point there. Although I need to get a munitions point because it seems like every munitions point is on their side of the board. This one is. That one's just barely. There's one right there. Barely a little bit closer to me, but it's in the exact center of the damn board. And then there's one way over here that is on their side. So munitions is going to be tight for me. It looks like I'm going to have good manpower, okay fuel, and like no munitions, which is where you need to spend for your special stuff, like your bigger tanks and special abilities. So we'll see how this pans out. By all means, keep putting your comments down below. Loving filming this, loving the big match. It's really just freaking awesome. And I'm going to keep pushing it. They haven't paid me. They didn't give me the game. I bought it, but they are doing the 1.5 here soon. Make sure you check it out if you haven't because the game is freaking awesome. And some people have mentioned that they haven't got their stuff yet. All I know from what I've read up and some of the other comments is the fact that it is coming, but I think if you ordered your stuff painted, it's taking longer to get it. So if you did take that extra step to order stuff already like pre-done for you, bear with them if it's taking them a little bit longer to get to you. All right, you guys take care. I'll see you in the next one.